Hey Uthra, super happy to connect with you and we worked together for 6 months. Congratulations on your graduation, Uthra. How does it feel?
Hey, thank you so much. Feels great. It's been few months of graduation, and I'm very happy to report that I'm on track more mentally than anything else. Like I'm at peace with myself at this point.
Wow, incredible change. And we are definitely going to dig into where you actually started. But before that, Uthra, can you share a quick intro about yourself, like about your family, what do you do, and what prompted you to reach out to me?
Sure. My name is Uthra Natarajan. I'm a software engineer by profession. I live in California with my husband and a 15-year-old daughter and a pet. I reached out to Vidya early this year because I was going through severe emotional turmoil, I would say, because of so many things happening in my life. From outside, someone looks at my life, even then, they would have thought, oh, she has a nice, pleasant, peaceful life. What is there to complain about? But only I knew the emotional roller coaster I was going through. Just to name a few, I was dealing with a high schooler, a change in behavior from a teenager, lot of self-doubt, and increase in my physical, like my weight, and I was feeling lack of confidence in myself, even though in other aspects of my life, like professionally, I was thriving. I was taking care of my home well. Everything was okay, but somehow there was an inner turmoil and a battle that I was, battling. And it so happened that I ran into Vidya's profile through a common acquaintance, and I started following her. And when I saw some of the posts that you were posting, I was able to relate a lot with you. And I have tried reaching out to coaches even in the US before. The one thing that I felt was lagging or missing was there was no connection culturally. They would, most of them were Americans or from other ethnicity, and they didn't understand the background of how we grew up in India as a South Indian vegetarian person. So some of the options they would give me was just not applicable to me, and lot of store-bought solution, it was difficult for me to adopt that into my lifestyle. So with Vidya, that was the main reason why I felt so connected, because we share a common common background culturally. We both are South Indians. She's also a vegetarian. So all that made me even more confident that if I approach her, there is a chance that I'll find my holy grail. So that was the whole idea.
Thank you so much, Uthra, for sharing that. And I totally can relate to what you said in terms of dealing with a lot of mental and emotional challenges, especially as a perimenopausal woman. I mean, you're like 40 plus, right? So those you were going through physiologically, psychologically changes on your own, as well as the environment was a little different with a growing teenager, her own challenges that she was going through. You were finding it very hard to kind of make peace with it or accept that and um, see how you can be of support to her, right? When you were struggling yourself. So I think that was the space that you found yourself in. I remember our conversation, our first conversation, where you said that, "Hey, I'm not able to even go out and socialize. I'm not able to meet people. I feel very diffident. I don't know what to wear. I don't know what to eat. I would drink water, come back, and I would gorge on food." So a lot of struggle with the eating behaviors, especially with lack of awareness with nutrition, or maybe you had the awareness, you could not put it together consistently. Second thing is you're dealing with a lot of cravings, a lot of mental emotional challenges. So can you just share about what was going on for you, Uttara, that kind of made you feel like, okay, I need help, I cannot do this by myself?
Yeah, I would divide it into a couple of different parts, right? There was emotional challenge because of personal things going on in our life, some commitments, big commitments on our plate, and then my daughter, teenager, and the behavior that teenagers bring into the equation. They suddenly are not your friends anymore. They don't want to talk to you. They want to stay away. All, and being the only child, I was feeling like I'm losing my only child, right? That was the emotional part of it. The second part is I was a runner before, I was a very active person. And suddenly, in spite of doing a lot of different activities, my body was only rebelling. It was working against. In my mind, I thought I'm eating right, I'm working out, I'm eating the right portions and everything. But my weighing scale and inch tape was showing something totally different. And I really thought I was not under any stress. Now, when I look back, I realize how much stress I was going through. It was very evident in my face also, like I was bloated all the time. There was all the time my face would be like a balloon, even though I will go many days without eating, like purely out of willpower. And I was so confused, like, should I do weight training? Should I do cardio? Like, there are so many fitness instructors and coaches in social media who some of them vouch for just strength training, some vouch for a combination of strength training and cardio, and some says just go do cardio, and some say don't do anything, just go for a walk. So I was very confused. After a point, I was like, I don't know what to do anymore. One day I'll do something, and the next day my mind will say, no, no, do that. So I that's when I realized I need a person to guide me, and I need someone to walk with me through this journey for a few months at least, to give me the reassurance and tell me that it's going to be fine and monitor me and course correct. And that's when I stumbled upon your profile, and I thought we would be a good fit. Like, you would be a fit for me, and then I was hoping that I would also be a fit for you.
Nice. Okay, so the clarity is what you sought, right? There were moments where you used to doubt your actions. Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Again, the fitness industry throws up all kinds of theories. And ultimately, it's what works for you that you need to kind of take on, right? Rather than try here and there. Again, we want to make sustainable choices, right? So that was one of your goals. What were some of your other goals, Uttara?
I mean, other goals were in terms of generally, coping mechanism when something is, you know, not going as per your plan. Especially there were patterns like I won't drink water. I didn't know why. And I used to just tell myself I don't like water, which completely reversed after working with Vidya. And second thing was the moment I come home, I'll rush into the pantry as if I've been starving since morning, though I won't even be hungry. I don't know why. And then Vidya and I worked on some strategies for that. There was also one more pattern in my day-to-day life is when I'm coming out of work, we have this Indian stores on the way. And I would always stop there and buy muruk or samosa. And within few weeks of like within a month or 6 weeks of working with Vidya, my patterns changed. I was opting for more fruit or high fiber items to take with me in the car and chew on those instead of, go for a fried item, thereby breaking down the whole reversal of that pattern. It didn't happen overnight, but we replaced some of those things. And it was a mind trick, like how you pause and think, you make a conscious decision. So these were some of the things that I was struggling with, which, to be very honest, someone who would look at me will think I won't go through all this because I look like I'm very put together and I know what I'm doing. But no, that was not the case. You have a self that you show to the world, but you only know your secret self, the real self.
Yeah, absolutely, Uttara. You're definitely not alone. The reason I was laughing was that I could relate to that. And many women that I coach go through this, Uttara. We all are amazing at putting on masks and not show the real us to the world. But deep down, we could be going through insane mental and emotional challenges and behavior patterns, right? So I remember, one of the first times that you had the win was posting a selfie with a guava and saying, Srivatya, I did not stop at the Indian store. Instead, I chose to eat this guava. So incredible, commitment towards changing habits. And not just that, right? We did not go ahead and superficially change a behavior. We said, hey, Uttara, can you practice the pause for a couple of minutes to understand why the behavior exists in the first place? Because unless you know why the behavior exists, you're not going to be working on, a deep-rooted solution. It's going to be like a band-aid, which is going to come off, right? So we worked on stress eating. We realized that post-work was coupled with stress release as well as hunger. So, we worked on that, helping you prep something so that you're not, kind of rushing into something that was available, like a packaged food. We worked on your cravings. So tell me what other things that we, worked on were kind of like game-changing skills for you, Uttara.
Oh yeah, the pause. If you see, I still have the pause on my pantry door, my fridge, and the door from where I enter inside the house, which is from the garage, right? In fact, people who visited us recently, they asked, when are the paw use? Why you have paw use everywhere? I'm like, what is paw use? Then I said, hey, that is pause, man. And then so many people ask me, what is pause? What do you mean by pause? I said, think about it.
Nice.
Everyone, pause is different for everyone. For me, it is a reminder that pause and think, what is it that you're feeling? Most of the times I would eat when I'm not even hungry, purely because it's just like, you are letting out some stress by eating. But actually speaking, it was counterproductive. After eating, I would feel guilty. Oh my God, I ate this even though I was not hungry. Now I also have to eat dinner because I want to be with my family. It was unnecessary complication in the life, I would say. So the pause was a great strategy. The second thing was the water, right? Like most places, when you ask how much water should a adult drink, they'll say this many liters, that many liters, this many bottles. I think Vidya's way of putting it was just your pee shouldn't be yellow. That's it. So that can happen for me. If that happens in 4 cups a day, I'm good to go. So that didn't put a number on how much I need to drink, which was liberating for me. Like I am not forcing myself to drink 10 glasses of water a day. And then I let my body decide slowly, like what makes sense. Now I don't drink 2 liters, to be very honest. Maybe that is what is common for most people, but I live in a place where it doesn't sweat and it's not that hot. So, 2 big bottles is all I need. And my body actually craves water when I don't give it. I actually get a headache now if I'm dehydrated. And
Oh,
I
wow.
feel my digestion has improved incredibly because of this water habit. Like, I drink
Yeah.
water throughout the day. I always drink water when I'm driving, and I always drink water when I'm in work meetings because it's easiest for me to just take few sips. I'm not even consciously like putting in the effort, right? But by the end of my meeting, like half a bottle is already done. So I think water is a game changer, especially for someone who doesn't like water.
Mm.
So pause, and this water was one more thing.
How
And
about
with respect,
nutritional skills, Uttara? Meal plating skills. We worked on how to plan and prep your meals. How important were those skills for you?
yeah, yeah. So we had a weekly planning that Vidya taught me. This was a strategy. I mean, I used to do that always because of the way, it's here. We don't have much help. But it helped me in the sense now I nothing is off limits. Like I can eat anything I want, no carb limits, no sweet limits. There is nothing off limits. But everything is a conscious decision. Like I want this, hence I'm eating it. Nothing is unconscious, right? But in the initial months, when I was really struggling with my self-image and everything, and I wanted to dial down on my diet, like Vidya helped me understand how we need to have some portion of protein, some portion of fiber, and whatever carb you like. Always include food that you like, that you look forward to. Don't make it boring because that was another misconception that I have to eat the same boring stuff to keep my weight under check. So it's so it's a revelation that I actually lost weight and a lot of inches by eating things that I really like eating and that are usually demonized, like dosa, idli, chapati, any carb that vegetarians eat. I ate all that. So it was amazing. Some of the amazing things that we did together.
Yeah, absolutely, Uttara. So I remember actually initial stages of working together that you mentioned, hey, Vidya, are you sure I can eat this? I'm feeling guilty that I'm allowing myself to this kind of fun and pleasure through food. Do you recall that, Uttara? And then
Yeah,
how
yeah.
it changed. You started enjoying your meals. It put a smile on your face. I mean, what's the point of living if we cannot eat foods that we really enjoy, right? Food plays such an important part of our everyday life. So, how would you say your relationship with food is right now compared to how it used to be? Uttara?
I mean, I feel very confident playing around with food now. In the sense, I honor my body signals more than anything. Um, there was a time when I used to think every meal 35 grams of protein. That's what they say, right? Especially if you're perimenopausal, they say protein is your friend. Eat more protein, eat more protein. Actually speaking, it was counterproductive for me. I was unnecessarily taking more calories when my body was not even hungry. If you remember, I used to tell you breakfast is something I'm not hungry. So do I have to eat? Can I just eat lunch, a small snack, and dinner? And that means my total protein intake may be less, but is that okay? That is absolutely fine. See, all these things, when you hear from a coach or someone who's professionally, skilled to give you this suggestion, you feel more confident in making these decisions. So, in the initial days, I think I went ahead with the usual suggestions, but as we progressed and I saw slowly, that changes were coming in, then I became more confident with my food choices. To the extent that now I don't think about food so much. It doesn't overwhelm my life anymore. I
Wow.
eat what I feel like eating when I feel like eating. If I'm hungry, sometimes I also eat when I'm not hungry, which is fine. That's some pleasures of life. I think that this whole liberation, I would say this is more of a mental work that we did with each other, which will eventually have effects on your physical world or physical aspects of your life.
Absolutely, Uttara. The thought that goes behind every action, that is super important, right? And to enable that thought, you are pausing, you're kind of reflecting, what is it that I need? Again, it's super important to kind of find your balance between what your body needs and what you want to make that a sustainable option for you. So you did allow yourself to eat for pleasure, for whatever other reasons than hunger, and they were few and far between because you were nourishing yourself really well with the right kind of nutrition to support your body. You did not have those cravings as you did before, right?
Oh, yeah,
And you
yeah, absolutely.
so
My
talk
cravings
about
completely died. I don't
yeah,
crave sweets anymore. I was one person who would always eat a sweet after my meals. Always. It would be chocolates. I had sent the Vidya some pictures few times that I'm eating 3 Twix. I'm eating two
Mars.
Mars.
You remember Mars?
Mars. And is
Yeah,
it okay?
I
So it's
remember.
like, yeah, it's okay, but why do you want it? Like, what is driving it? What did you eat before that? So there is a chemical act part portion to it, right? Like if you eat fiber, enough fiber, some protein and some carbs, and make sure you are hydrated, your body won't require anything more. That is for everyone. It will take time for your body to get to that point because we have abused it for too long. As adults go through so much stress and we take it out in the form of eating or punishing ourselves by not eating, all this complication we create in our own life. So to get out of that whole trauma, it will take few weeks or few months for your body. It did take me. I'm not going to say that everything happened overnight. I think I started working with Vidya in January, and I don't think until March or April these changes were
ஏப்ரல்ல
evident.
ஒரு semblance of consistency
Yeah,
started coming in, right? I mean, because we had
yeah.
so many behaviors to unearth, and every time it was a new challenge, right? Like we would solve one, and then a new thing would crop up. To find that kind of consistency, it takes a while because this is not the only thing we are doing. We are fulfilling so many different roles, right? You're working, you're a mom, you're a spouse, you have to take care of the household, no domestic help, right? It's not easy at all. So incredible work, Uttara. The other thing that brings up a very important point, which is intuitive eating and slow and mindful eating skills. So, can you talk about how important those were for you to help you find a sustainable way rather than counting calories, weighing and measuring your food?
Oh yeah, I mean that's the beauty of working with your, the whole coaching plan is there is absolutely no counting. It's such a mental fatigue that you go through when you have to count every morsel that you eat. So I completely stopped counting. I don't count, I don't measure, I don't weigh. Slow eating was tough for me because I'm naturally a person who eats very fast. So that I think I'm still working on that skill. It's still not there. Many times I eat very fast, even now. But when I do that, my body reacts. Like I get acid reflux and all that, right? So slow eating is very important. So you give your body enough time to register what it's eating. And as there was no measurement, it's all weighing. Basically, you start eating and you're slow and you take your time and you talk to your family while eating or your friends. No distractions like don't eat. We had some rules like don't eat while watching TV or don't eat while browsing. All that helps. We forgot our basics, I would say.
And tell me about intuitive eating, Uttara, like paying attention to your hunger cues, understanding how full you are. Those, how critical were they to help you improve your body composition?
Yeah, I think I started telling Vidya after a point that, hey, I'm doing a lot of things because I have read. Like, for example, I don't like eating breakfast. Can I skip it? Then she's like, yeah, absolutely, go ahead and skip. So, this is an example of intuitive eating, right? You listen to your body cues, you wait until you feel hungry. You know when you feel hungry. You don't have, no one needs to teach this. If you are questioning someone else, hey, am I hungry? Is this hunger? That means you're not hungry. Because you will know when you're hungry, your stomach will growl, you'll feel little, you'll feel that emptiness or hollowness in your body, and it's a beautiful feeling. Wait for that, you will enjoy the food, any food more when you're hungry. So we did practice that where every day I would wait for that point. It didn't mean that I'm saying no, I can't eat until then. It's just that sometimes, and then we had this example where some of my meetings would come in between. If I don't eat before that, then I can't eat for a few hours. If you remember, we had those conversation and we came up with some
Absolutely.
mitigation, like have something like a bar or a fruit ready, which you can still eat in the meeting, or have a protein shake in a bottle ready, so when you're actually hungry in the meeting, you drink that, but don't eat before, just so that you can work around that whole meeting schedule. I think listening to the cues of my body was transformational for me. I think these were the building blocks. I think intuitive eating is one of the core building block of becoming more conscious about what you're eating. Mindful eating, like that
Absolutely.
was the game
Absolutely.
changer.
Super, Rautra. So we have kind of dug into nutrition, meal plating skills, meal planning and prepping, intuitive eating. Let's move on to exercise, Utra. So two things that we implemented were movement, consistency. Second thing was workouts. So can you share a little bit about each of those and how you scaled from where you started?
Oh yeah. I mean, I always thought that workout has to be like complex, lot of variety. To be honest, since January until now, I have been following the same 3-day plan that Vidya wrote for me like in January. She wrote these things with body weight or dumbbells, and eventually I progressed to working in the gym with squat racks and proper barbells for my deadlifts and leg presses with like 180 kgs, like 180 pounds of plates. I can't even believe I was
Incredible,
doing all that.
incredible.
I I started off in the gym, sorry, at my garage. So you need to like the beauty was she said find something that is least resistant, like that will have the lowest chance of failure. Like you don't have to drive to a gym to be successful in working out. Start thinking, can I do it at home? Instead of waiting that, oh, I don't have dumbbells. Can you just do it with body weight? Because when I started, I was in such a bad state. My body was so weak and so bloated everywhere that even lunges and all, if you remember, I was not able to do well. I would like wobble, and it was all body weight. And then slowly over weeks, like you have to put in the work. I won't say it's free of cost. Nothing is free of cost. She can give you all the beautiful plan in the world and it won't work. You have to put in the hard work. day in and day out. But I think the game changer for me was taking the videos because I was sending it to her, getting feedback from her for my videos. When I was taking those videos and watching it myself, I was feeling so awesome. Oh, this is how I look. Oh, this is where I'm doing it wrong. And then week over week, when I saw the progress that now it's looking better, let me try with something different. Let me try with a little weight. All that is I think the visual cues from all these things motivates you. So don't shy away from video recording yourself. Invest in a tripod. Invest in a, if everyone has phone camera now. So I think these things matter. When I used to see all these social media influencers putting video of their workouts, I'm like, they don't have any other job, I think, that they are putting all these things. But it's very motivating when you see yourself working hard. My phone is filled with my workouts for the first 8, 9 months of this year. Only last few months I've stopped taking videos. And then, of course, the weekly measures, check-ins with Vidya, and measurements that you make. You see the changes in your body. You take photos. All that makes a huge difference. But yeah, my workout. If someone asks, it's very simple. I still work out 3 to 4 times a week. 4 strength workouts or 3 strength workouts, to be very honest. Practically, I'm doing three. Exactly the same workout that you wrote for me in January. First 8 weeks, I would say I was doing body weight. Then another 8 weeks with low dumbbell weights. Then started my gym journey where I felt at home it's limiting me. I'm not able to get enough. So I started going to the gym and started lifting more. I became more confident to work out in front of men without the fear that, they may be
Wow.
thinking, what is this auntie doing here? Uh, I think workout is my that space where you feel like this is my me time. Uh, it's just fabulous. I just love it
You've
where we went.
arrived, Uthra. Incredible. I mean, I could see how much you muscled up during our journey. I could see
Yeah,
definition in your arms, your shoulders, your legs. Talk about your legs. You said, "Oh my God, my legs feel very tight, Vidya." Remember, you said that your
yeah,
triceps, your everything. I mean, we worked on a lot of the all body move, not just focusing on one thing, but we kind of incorporated a variety over the 3 days. And slowly, you could scale from body weight to carrying some light dumbbells to heavy dumbbells. And then you didn't have anything heavier than that anymore at home, which prompted you to head to a gym and incredible progress. I'm very proud of you. And that's when you started seeing big changes in your body composition. Even while the scale was not telling the whole story, you could see the inches dropping off, you were shrinking, your clothes were fitting better. So tell me
yeah.
about the progress relating to your body composition.
I think my overall, I lost quite a bit of inches in my midsection, which was the problem area, like waist and hip. And then the legs and all became super strong. Like in terms of weights, I would say I went from like lifting 10 pounds to, squatting with, I think 70, 80 pounds of barbell. Deadlift, I think I was doing somewhere around 90 pounds or 100 pounds at a point, and leg presses were around 180 pounds. It was like, it was a release. Every time I would go and do strength training, it was a release, and my chest presses went from like 2 10-pound dumbbell to I was doing chest press with a barbell. I have gotten to that
Wow.
point. uh, I think body composition wise, I didn't lose enormous amount of pounds, maybe 7 to 8 pounds from where I started, and my inches dropped a lot more. And visually, I look different now. My
And
arms are
talk
way
about the
more
compliments
toned.
you received, Uttara. It's something to feel really happy about.
Yeah, I've been receiving compliments from, like my hikes and all became very efficient. I can hike now. Then I started doing the weighted vest, right? I started using weighted vest after Vidya recommended. So some of my hikes are with the 20-pound weighted vest that I use.
Wow.
Friends
Awesome.
do call out that, I look stronger. I sometimes feel I lift everything and anything, and men around me feel little insecure. Like, what is going on? Like I
Nice.
was lifting India suitcases of 50 pounds easily and putting it inside the trunk of my car. And
Oh,
then
wow.
to the extent that my nephew, who's 21, he works out a lot. And I
Ah,
would post my workout videos like in the squat bar or I'm deadlifting, and he will say, Atte, this was really good form. When I come there, we both should go to the gym together. I think
aha.
that was
Nice.
my fun moment.
Super. You've gotten definitely a lot stronger, Uthra. And remember the test that you had, VO2 max, your push-ups. I think you had a body fat analysis also. You just
Yeah.
aced all of that, right? Remember the plank test? I mean, you kind of did, I think, was it more than a minute? The
Yeah, it was
planks.
1 minute and 30 seconds. When I started, I couldn't even plank for 20 seconds. And I went up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. This was not purely because I was planking every day of the week. It was purely because of my squats and deadlifts. So you don't know what is helping you. It's not just the direct exercise. I was not doing
Exactly.
any crunches or anything. Planks I would do as a warm up, and ball sits I was doing as a warm up. But more of my, I think, core strength came from my squats, like when I was squatting with a heavy weight, and
Goblet squat, right? Holding the weight in
yeah,
the front. It works your
goblet
core
squats,
completely.
sumo squats, all that helped my core quite a bit. That improved my squats or the
And
planks.
push-ups, talk about push-ups, Sutra. We started with, I
Yeah,
think, your washing machine. If you remember,
yeah. I started
wall
with my
push-up to
washing
washing machine.
machine. Yeah, and then I moved to another surface in my garage that was a little lower. I think when I did the body composition test, I got some 12 or 15 push-ups done. They had record from 5 years back, 5 or 7 years back. So you can imagine I was in my 30s, younger me. So you would expect better results. My waist measurement is the lowest right now compared to all these years. Even the person who tested me said that you have made a lot of improvement.
Nice.
So it's really amazing. And then this is just in like 6 months of work. Imagine doing this year over year for many years and what kind of changes that would bring to you. I think it's
Absolutely.
amazing.
So physically, it's incredible the way you've rocked, Uttara. Mentally and emotionally, you were at an all-time low when we started in January, right? So talk about the changes that you're seeing right now. We also worked on stress management skills, sleep skills to help you recover better, show up stronger. Also, some cues relating to how to handle your day-to-day challenges, Uttara. So how do you feel mentally and emotionally right now?
At this point, I would say I'm the most stable in the last 4 5 years since COVID. It's been a very tough journey for a lot of us. I mean, pretty much the entire world since COVID, because the world shut down, we all had to deal with that, and then you lost a lot of loved ones in the process. And then once we went back to the real world again, it was quite a bit of adjustment. So I would say I'm at my strongest in the last 5 years. As I was telling Vidya, I think I keep thinking a gotcha coming my way because I'm so happy of late and so at peace. I really don't care what someone thinks of me or is my weight increasing or lowering. That is not my priority anymore. I am living a more peaceful and harmonious life right now. And I think it's a lot to do with the coaching that I received. You remember we did this gratitude journal at the end of the day and in the morning, like just take few minutes to sit through and think what I want to do today, how I want this day to go. All this reflection makes a huge difference. Like I exercise pause a lot. Even at work, I get away from my desk and I go sit in my car or I go just sit somewhere in a park nearby just for 5 minutes and pause and say it's okay. I don't have to be home to relax. I can be relaxed here. Because you feel like when you're outside your home and you're at a work situation, you're like that uptight and you're very stiff because you have to stay in control of everything. That's not how you have to be. You can let go even outside. So I think this whole journey
Incredible.
has made me extremely confident in my skills. I have learned some coping mechanisms. I'm not perfect. I do fall off the wagon quite a bit. Like right now, I haven't done any strength training in like 4 5 weeks. But that doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not worried. I'm gonna go back to my routine soon. Like right now, because of daylight saving and all that, I'm sleeping a lot more. But I just have to go back to the routine of waking up. Like get up every day, like Vidya used to say, just get up, don't work out. Just get back to the routine of waking up first at a time that will give you enough bandwidth to accommodate a workout. 1 week of waking up, then you put in the workout there, like a simple workout. And then I have done workouts where I have just done one set of every exercise or just one exercise one time. That would count as showing up. So showing up was very important. It doesn't have to be the whole exercise, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just show up. That is a tick mark. So these shift in the way you think and all that makes a huge difference. It makes it easy, basically, your life, because we can't control every aspect of our life, right? Um, so I think that was the biggest learning for me.
Absolutely. Tiny changes, how you shape your environment, keep your weights accessible,
Yeah.
wear the shoes as the first step rather than think that, oh, I have to walk. Can you get into your workout attire or your walk attire? Wear the shoes, so tiny changes and also taking 5-minute actions. It doesn't have to be the entire 1 hour workout for it to count. Can you show up for 5 minutes? Shrink the goal, right? Show up imperfectly. These are all some of the skills you learned. And the most important skill of all is when you take a break, when life happens, when there is a setback. How do you ease yourself back into a routine? That's a super important skill. Nobody teaches you that, right? Many people say, okay, you give up and that's it. That's the end of it. You don't know how to get yourself back on track. So that was a very crucial skill that you learned. Like, how do you scale slowly rather than hold yourself or compare yourself to the previous Uttara? Can you look at your current capability and see what is it that you can show up for right now? And then gently, as you nudge yourself into action, that itself will motivate you to show up even more, right? So, talk about some of the mindset shifts that happened during this journey, Uttara. You said you let go of perfectionism. Second thing is you started practicing being a little bit more flexible with yourself rather than holding yourself to rigid rules or restrictions, right? What were some of the other mindset shifts that you saw?
I mean, even with family and cooking, there is no, you can't have a set standard for throughout your life. As you age and you go through different phases of life, you have to accept certain things. Like, this is the best I can do today at this phase. But that doesn't mean it's permanent. Um, so I think for me, I am a perfectionist. Like, I try to be a perfectionist. I'm not a perfectionist, but I try. That is my goal. That is my bar, right? I have lowered it a lot for everyone around me. I'll expect less from myself and from everyone. And I used to see that as a failure. Like, if I'm expecting less from me, that means I'm a failure. It needed a lot of work. Like, you have to separate these two things. It doesn't mean you're a failure, you're just a human. And what you thought is the bar when you were in your 20s with no kid is not the same bar you can set for yourself in your 30s. You're not a superwoman, right? So, and then I think seeing me, there was a lot of change around me. Like my daughter weightlifts. She picked strength training as a
Oh,
course in school. Yeah, this
awesome.
year instead of PE, I really encouraged her you should take strength training because they get
Hmm,
a subject called strength training where throughout the year they work on that.
nice.
So I told her she should do that. And then the whole idea of women being bulky or showing off muscle is off-putting and all that. All that changed for me. I used to be scared of it, like I'll become bulky. That doesn't happen. Mindset wise, I think these were the main changes. And one more thing is, I feel now that I have all these skill sets, right? I can try to bring it back myself. But let's say in few months, I feel no, I have a goal. I want to reach at this point. I may come back to Vidya and say, work with me for a few months. I want a coach with me because you need a coach. We all need coaches. This is not a expense. You shouldn't look at it as an expense. You need a coach when you want a goal. We did that when we were in school. We did that when we were in college. We have coaches at work. we have mentors at work, then why not for your physical and mental health? Because everything else depends on that. So I think for women, I feel it's even more important, more than anyone else, because we deal with lot of responsibilities in every aspect of our life, and we need to keep ourselves sane. So don't feel guilty when you're taking your time away to work out. Like I many times say, today I have to work out, so get food from outside, get cleaner to clean the house, get dog walker to walk the dog, but don't expect anything from me because I am going. I even worked out in the hotel where I stayed during my work trip.
Nice.
Yeah, I went and
Awesome.
I worked out. There was just one more man, white, Pakka Caucasian. Like I used to feel intimidated by these people. Like, what will they think? This Indian woman is coming and doing something here. But I was so at ease. I just did what I knew well, and 1 hour I worked out all 3 days. I made sure
Wow.
I pick
Incredible.
hotels with fitness centers. Yeah, I think it's a part of your life now. You can't,
Yeah.
yeah, get rid of it. You
So
feel
your
something
routine
is
kind of
missing.
changed. You feel like, okay, wow, what is missing in my day? Like I have to get back to my workout. I remember the time we started building the consistency with your workouts, Uthra. You said, oh my God, I cannot believe it's helping me with my mental health so much. There's just so much clarity. You're feeling a lot more confident, both at home as well as at work, right? Your decisions are coming from a very well thought out space. You're more mindful. And then, of course, the other added benefits is how it changes your body composition. But what I have also realized, Uttara, that it gets you so much more mentally and emotionally strong. Lifting heavy weights is so empowering. So that's what we talked about in terms of flexibility with your mindset. The other important thing is being kind and compassionate to ourselves. While it was a very, very important thing that you mentioned there, which is scaling down does not mean failure, right? Scaling down just means I'm playing with my current capability. I'm being very gentle and kind and compassionate with myself and allowing myself to do what I'm capable of doing at the current time without comparing myself with my past self or my future goal that I have for myself, right? So when you pivot and kind of keep your habits flexible, it helps build consistency, right? So incredible work, Uttara. Now, can you tell me, like, what was an aha moment for you when you were working on your transformation?
Uh, I'm just thinking, what would I call an aha moment? I think for me, the physical workouts that I was doing, I can't tell you how beneficial it was for my mental health. I was going through an extremely stressful year this year, and it's purely because of what I did with Vidya. While doing it, I didn't realize it. I felt like, oh, I have a check-in. Oh, I have to measure myself. She will ask me all these things. I hope I am, doing what I'm supposed to do. But now when I reflect back, some of the habits that I built with her and, with working with each other, like Friday evenings are no longer party time for me. What I do is Friday evenings I wrap up work by 3:30 or something. I sleep for an hour. I look forward for
Wow.
that sleep, and then 5 o'clock I go to the gym where no one is in the gym. Friday evenings our gyms are empty here mostly, like work gym, my office gym. And I would go and I'll put in a solid workout there. And I would feel incredible that evening. Like you feel so different after a workout. It's the endorphins, it's the accomplishment that okay, I got it done. It's amazing. I think my workouts were my aha moments. More than
Super.
diet, I would say the workouts really helped me. And then the diet naturally, slowly started falling in. Right now, I am not at all scared of anything. To be very honest, I was off sweets and sugar for 2.5 months, completely off.
Mm.
I just told myself, you know what, I'm not going to eat it anymore. I don't want to eat. Let's see how long I go. I went for 8, 10 weeks. Not because someone told me that this will drop weight, not because I want to drop to a particular. The scale number doesn't matter anymore to me. I can't believe I'm saying this to you because I used to. In fact,
I
all our calls
obsessed,
I would tell.
obsessed, Julia. Your scale
Yeah,
drop farther, I remember.
yeah,
But this shows how well you have healed your relationship with the scale and how that number does not, kind of carry any weight towards who you are as a person. That used to be a big thing, Ilya. I remember that.
yeah.
So today you're telling me the scale number is, you did not do that to bring that scale number down, but just you wanted to test your self-control or willpower or capability. Can I do this? Is this something that is possible for me? You just wanted to challenge yourself. How did you feel at the end of it?
Oh, I loved it. Like the entire month of August, September, and even Diwali, I didn't eat. After Diwali was over, I said, okay, now I want to start a few bites of sweets here and there, and it was a little too sweet for me. My whole palate has changed now. But yeah, I think we all need a coach. End of the day, I feel like the coach can only help you so much. They can give you these learnings, they can work with you on strategies, but if you don't put it in your day-to-day life, you don't put in an effort, like sincere effort, then you won't get much out of it. You get what you put in. Like they are not gods, they can't do magic on you. And then we are geographically located in different locations. You can't do much with me. But it's amazing when you know somebody's rooting for you, somebody's gonna, encourage you. I remember when I first time I did that, what is that, Smith machine squats. I was scared to try that machine. Remember, I told you I went in a gym,
Yeah.
empty gym to do it. I don't want anyone to see me. And then I sent Vidya the video, and I was so thrilled. It was so thrilling for me to, try it out. Now I'm feeling so comfortable doing that even in front of a large crowd. Because
Awesome,
we worked
Uthra.
on fixing the form and we fixed on a lot of other things like what works for my body.
So you're a lot more confident now, but then I know the first time you were putting your, I mean, like all along you're working at home, right? In the comfort of your home, in the privacy of your home. You didn't mind taking pictures. But the first time when you went there, you said, Vidya, how do I take a video? What will people think of me? I'm lifting, what will they pass any comment? And from there to now feeling confident, that says a lot about how well you worked on yourself, Uttara, how you showed up despite all these limiting beliefs and self-doubts and your self-talk bringing you down. Incredible. Yeah. What I would say is more than the physical change, the mental change has been incredible, Uttara. I'm very, very proud of you. Now, tell me what would you share, in terms of accountability, guidance, and support? How helpful was it for you, Uttara, during this journey?
I mean, we were catching up we had a schedule like, and then there was the tool that you input your data into, and we had all that set up. And then some days, if I'm feeling very down or I'm not following the plan, I would message you on WhatsApp or we would have emails. I felt like I'm working with a cousin sister or something. I never felt like it's someone so far away from me and unreachable. So I think it's very important you find the coach with whom you have common grounds. The coach can be superstar, but if you don't have cultural fit with each other, it won't work. So working with, I think you was very easy for me. Like I felt I can tell you any problem. Sometimes even you were going through a tough time this year, which made you look more human to me than anything else. You're not that perfect coach who's always perfect. கோச்னா எப்பயுமே எல்லாமே பர்ஃபெக்டா முடிச்சுடுவா நம்ம தான் வந்து பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிறோம் அந்த மாதிரி you don't feel that you see the human side of your coach also. I think that was very good. And support wise, WhatsApp, emails, and then the tools we had, all that helped quite a bit. And you did give me a lot of other ways, strategies also. When I told you I want a big drop, can you tell me what I should do? Like you gave me idea for soups and then salads, like how we can replace some portion of our meals with salads. All that really, and then you also encouraged me to not think that way. Like don't expect drama. I think we all want big drama. That before after pictures that you see in social media, I don't know how true they are. I mean, they would have taken years between those two pictures, but nobody thinks that way. Everyone thinks 6 weeks before I was this, and 6 weeks after I lost like 50 pounds. Uh, There is no drama in real life. It takes time, especially if you're 40 plus. So be patient with yourself. I
Super,
think
Uthra. Thank
lot
you
of
so much for
people
sharing.
commented on my skin too. You remember? People came
Ada,
and asked
yeah.
me, "What are you doing with your skin?" My sister, especially, who sees me
Much
every
early on,
day.
actually, couple of months
Yeah,
into the program, because by then we had kind of
yeah,
fixed your hydration, fiber intake, and all of that. And of course, workout
yeah. And
kind of
workouts.
oxygenates your
Skin
skin.
had the biggest shift for me. Everybody comes and asks me, even now, like, what did you do with your skin? When you're not emotionally in a good place, right, your whole body suffers. It's visible. Your pain may not be visible to strangers, but your physical, aspects shows that.
Absolutely, Uttara. And I'm so happy that you've had this kind of a well-rounded transformation, not just in the physical space, but most importantly in the mental shifts that you've seen, mindset, the way you perceive things, the way, like if there was food in front of you, the way you perceive it right now is super different from how you used to perceive back then, right? So, எல்லா விதமான perceptions have changed. Now, tell me, Uttara, what would you say are my top three coaching skills that you really admire, or what do you think I did best in terms of coaching skills?
I think being very patient and supportive, and I mean, your unique selling point is that you are helping women who are 40 plus or in perimenopause. I really like that part because I'm not a 22-year-old kid who's trying to suddenly drop like 10 kilos for a wedding. My strategy, that strategy won't even work for me, any extreme, thing. So I really like that you are much more grounded. You give sensible ideas, which is not extreme and works with your day-to-day life. Like if I tell you I ate too much sweets today, you won't say, okay, starve tomorrow and make up for the balance, right? I think that is amazing. Like the patience and the grounded approach, more sustainable approach, and then also your life coaching. I feel like you were my life coach to some extent because when we would discuss about our strategies, we would eventually talk about day-to-day challenges, what was happening. Did you planned X? Did you execute X? What happened? Why didn't it happen? How can we plan for that better for the next week? Which was more practical. I think this whole practical approach of um, all this was really amazing. I think you should continue that. You should only coach people over 40, I would say. We really need coaches like you.
Thank you, Uttara. I really appreciate it. I think you hit the nail on the head. Given that, I've also done sleep stress management and recovery certification, that was a game changer for me when, as a coach personally, like I used to be a nutrition and lifestyle coach earlier. And okay, that took results to a certain extent. But then I realized the kind of mental and emotional challenges women go through. And unless the coach has a better understanding of that, like you cannot ignore the person behind the challenges. You've got to understand what is that person going through so that holistically you can cater to that person rather than say, okay, now that that is done, can you focus on this diet or can you do this workout? You have to first understand why is this person not able to stay consistent? What is stopping this woman from putting forth efforts, right? And then you kind of understand, okay, now this needs to be taken care of, not this. When this is taken care of, consistency is automatically taken care of because you are not somebody who's saying, oh, I'm lazy, I just want to sit on the couch. There is a reason why you're sitting on the couch, right? So the reason needs to be tackled and then the rest falls. So again, with the one-on-one program, there is so much flexibility with what we focus on. If you're going through a really tough time, hey, can we stop the actions relating to your workout and your diet? Can we look at how you can de-stress and get yourself back stronger mentally and emotionally so that you're able to support your physical health? Right? So thank you so much for pointing that out, Uttara. So that's definitely what I want to do. I want to continue to support women, especially in the 40 plus age group or women approaching perimenopause. Again, perimenopause these days I'm noticing starts even at 35. So I would say ideally in your 30s, you want to be done figuring out a plan with a structure and system for your skills so that you can navigate your perimenopause, like be ready to handle perimenopause as when it strikes you. So Thank you for that. So, Uttara, one last thing. What message would you like to share to the women who are going through similar struggles as you? Like, what would you tell them?
I mean, I would say that don't think you're alone in this. You most likely, most of us won't feel comfortable sharing this with a family member or a friend because there is whole idea of judgment or exposing yourself. Go for someone who is neutral, like go outside and approach a coach who does this as a profession. So they are very neutral to your problems. There is no judgment here. For them, you are neither good nor bad. You are just a person going through a tough time, and then they will figure out like how to best support you. Lot of your other, especially physical weight related problems, will automatically come under control if your internal mental health is good, your dialogue is healthy. So don't go for just someone who will help you with weight loss by giving you a diet to follow for 6 weeks or force you like a military person that, do this and you will lose. That will not get you anywhere. You'll go back to your old patterns again. This is more psychological than anything. And investing in a coach, don't think of that as an expense. I know everyone has a financial budget and everyone cannot afford all kinds of coaches. But within your means, when you are looking for help, look for someone who gives a holistic approach to this and doesn't make false promises of, oh, I promised 10 kg weight loss. 10 kg weight loss, anyone can get you there. Can you sustain it after that? That is a question you should be asking yourself. So when I joined Vidya's coaching, she told me after this you will never need coaching, which is true. I'll never need coaching again. But I may go back to her again just so that I have someone with me to get to my next goal, which could be anything. I don't know that. There is a likely, it's very likely that next year we may again work with each other for a quarter or 2 quarters because I do see the value of having a coach. The coach is there to get you to a destination when you are pushing, when you are very serious about your, goal. You should think about it that way. So I think it's a must for women, especially when they are
Thank
dealing
you.
with a lot of things, kids, house, and on top of it, this perimenopausal stuff and work and everything. So I would highly, highly recommend Vidya's coaching.
Thank you, Uttara. Absolutely, like we cannot be handling everything on our own, right? Somewhere you have to outsource. Just like how we are outsourcing some of the domestic chores to, a domestic helper. We want to focus, prioritize certain things, and then let somebody else do the thinking for you. And of course, not just I'm giving you a plan, but we're going to collaborate. But at least you have a cheerleader with you, a team player with you, somebody who's non-judgmental, who can objectively look at your challenges. When you are so caught and in the middle of it, you cannot think, right? But whereas a coach can objectively look at that and tell you, hey, Uttara, maybe you've missed this. Is there a different way to put this together? Or can you think of something else? Like put you in the driving seat and assist you while you go through the journey. So thank you so much for sharing that. Really golden words, and I really appreciate how, you feel that you want to come back. That says a lot about the journey, about your experience, how you felt about our coaching journey. Really humbling, Uttara. And I look forward to that day, when you say, hey,
Yep,
Vidya, I have this new goal. I want you to help me. I'm all ready. Even otherwise, anytime you're facing any challenges, I'm always there, Uttara. I'm just a message away. You can absolutely reach out and I'll be happy to support you. Okay.
absolutely.
Thank you so much for this time. Really wishing you
Thank you
well.
so much.
Keep me posted about your progress.